Why are Christians so drawn to fantasyland? I don't get it. I don't think of that metaphor with an intention of being derogatory. Not at all. Heartbroken, yes. Mystified, yes. I don't get it. If someone is drawn to the gymnast Simone Biles, many of them are not drawn to Simone Biles to escape reality, but exactly to be drawn into it. How can I become a gymnast like that? I want to be able to do the floor routine like that, the bars like that, the beam like that. Some individuals are drawn to the Marines. A horrible thing, but some people are drawn to the Marines or to the Navy SEALs. To escape reality? To become capable of being immersed in the most difficult reality. Not for some life after this one, for this one. They want the toughest training, the toughest obstacles, the toughest challenges, because they want to be able to be of extraordinary competence, physically and spiritually, for the challenge. Someone goes into the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts not to sit and talk and sing, although there may be some of that, but to be given challenges that make them more and more capable. People brought up in a town where there are ski mountains, ski runs, don't want to sit and talk about the ski runs. They want to be on them, because only in the midst of the challenge can they grow in the direction of the great skiers. But Christianity doesn't do that, does it? It takes the greatest human being that ran toward the reality of the suffering of people and grew in wisdom and in grace, I presume, as he faced it more and more and readied himself more and more. He talked, but his purpose wasn't talking. He showed, and his purpose wasn't to have people be spectators and talk about him. Pick up my cross and learn from me. I mean, take up my yoke and learn from me. Pick up my cross and follow me. I heard a wonderful young man leading a Bible study, and he mentioned, I think I've got this right, that a high point of his life was church under the bridge. And my understanding is that he would go with his father on Sundays, and they would have church under the bridge, and they would be handing out clothes, and they would be preaching, and they would be handing out food. I think if I had asked him, okay, what were you really serving up? I think his answer might have been humanity. We were serving up humanity, which is what Jesus did. One enters A young person might be involved with wrestling. Oh my goodness, what a difficult sport. There is some time where there's discussion of the moves, there's training of the moves. But all of that only makes sense. All of that only draws the potential wrestler in because there are ever increasing challenges. We call them competitions. I don't like that word. But there are ever increasing challenges. Take those challenges away and the young people aren't drawn in and they don't grow. Why isn't Christianity like that? James, it is like that. Oh, okay, explain it to me. I've never seen it. I'm not trying to be blind. I've never seen it. It's theory, it's singing, it's talking. And no wrestler is going to grow without the real world challenges ever increasing. The gymnast is not going to grow without the ever increasing challenges. They can't. We can't grow except in the face of challenges. I was in a service recently. Much of it was spectacular to my soul. And the pastor said, well, the subject that the pastor was discussing was, to my ears, it was, what is it that brings us into the will of God for us? And there were many things that I use: meditation, prayer, creating space. But what I didn't hear mentioned was diving into, immersing yourself into where the suffering of others is. Take away, as I understand it, take away the brutality of the Romans. Take away the brutality of the Jewish religious establishment. Take away the suffering that both of those were creating, and there's no Jesus. There's no teaching. There's no walking toward the crucifixion. Jesus existed exactly because he placed himself in the face of all that suffering. And that is what brought him into God's will. God, show me, what can I do to address this suffering? At least spiritually in these people, if not materially, cause the inflictions on them to stop. The purpose of wrestling camps, wrestling training, is to become ever better able to wrestle. The purpose of a gymnastics gymnasium is exactly to engage the next competition, the next challenge better. It can't happen without those ongoing challenges. Christianity just needs to do that. It has to. Otherwise, it is a mockery of what Jesus led us to. And I say that with a bleeding heart. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me. You're obligated. If your brother is in error, you have to tell him. If he doesn't listen, that's his business. Tell me.